What is up, boys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be breaking down UFC 294, Islam Makhachev taking on Alexander Volkanovski, and in the co-main event we have an absolute banger, ladies and gentlemen. Kamaru Usman taking on Khamzat Chimaev, two former pound for pound number ones stepping in on short notice. This is why we love UFC, boys, and it's a great week to make some money on this card, stacked from top to bottom. But before we get into the breakdown, best bets and the picks, predictions, I would just like to go over some of the stats for this year. 37.19 units on the year so far. It's been an okay year. My goal for this year was to get to 50 units, but you know, we have 2 months to rack up 13 units profit. I think we can do it. I really think we can do it. We're going to start smashing these bookies once again. Been a bit of struggle the past 2 weeks, but we're going to get back on the horse and ride that momentum once again. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get right into the breakdown, prediction, and best bets video. Good luck this weekend, boys. Let's make some cash on this banger pay-per-view card. Let's go. Woo! And our first for the night, we have Bruno Silva taking on Sharabutdin Magomedov, the Cyclops, I like to call him, the one-eyed monster. I'm going to go with Sharabutdin in this matchup. I think that Bruno Silva's chin is completely gone, guys. After the Pereira fight, he's been doing the stanky leg in every single fight, it seems, that he's been put in. You know, getting dropped, getting struck by Gerald Mearshart on the feet at kickboxing range. And that's where, like, Sharabutdin's going to have it in this matchup. Also, if Bruno Silva tries to wrestle Sharabutdin like he did in that Alex Pereira fight, that's not going to end well, because Sharabutdin stuffs the takedowns and makes you pay for it from what we've seen on the regional scene. I feel like Sharabutdin at minus 200, I played him for 2 units. I'm pretty confident that he gets the job done. I think that Bruno Silva is definitely past his prime, and you guys are going to say, the people on Bruno Silva, he's never been TKO'd, he's never been KO'd. Have you been watching his fights since the Alex Pereira fight? Like, guys, have you been watching it? Dude's been literally doing this stanky leg in every single fight since that fight. I just can't trust this guy's chin anymore, and I feel like Sharabutdin at the kickboxing range will be able to tie up Bruno Silva from that range, and if Bruno Silva eventually tries to get desperate, I see Magomedov, you know, lighting him up when he tries to get inside. I just don't really like this matchup whatsoever, stylistically for Bruno Silva, and I do like this matchup stylistically for Magomedov, not giving him someone that's going to wrestle him to death immediately into the UFC. So yeah, give me Cyclops first round TKO, or maybe the start of the second round for sure. On to the next one, boys. Let's go. And our next fight tonight is going to be Victoria Dudakova. And then Jinh Frey. I'm going to side with Victoria Dudakova, but it's sitting at minus 375. You'll never catch me on that bitch ever. You'll never catch me on that bitch at minus 375. Tried fitting her with the Estela Nunes. Didn't work out. Estela Nunes doesn't know that posting on an arm like that, you know, straight does break arms. But, you know, she's been doing mixed martial arts for how many years? It's been like 6-7 years, and she still doesn't know that posting on a straight arm is likely to break your arm because all your weight is going on it. But that's besides the point. This matchup, it's going to be very interesting. Can Victoria Dudakova get the takedowns and, you know, implement the control on the ground? I don't know, man. I really don't know. And on the feet, guys, it's a close one. It's a close one on the feet, and you know, I may actually take the dog shot at plus 290 on Jinh Frey, guys. I may have to do it. Yes, she's 38 years old. Yeah, 38 years of age, if I can speak properly. Jesus. On a 3-loss streak, but I'm really not high in Victoria Dudakova whatsoever, really not high. Yes, she's going to have the youth advantage. Yes, she's going to have that undefeated, you know, mentality coming into this fight. But guys, I really am not impressed from what I've seen on the regional tape, from what I've seen on the Dana White Contender Series, right, she was on. Yeah, I'm just not impressed whatsoever. So I do feel like Jinh Frey is the side in the betting, you know, the betting kind of side here. So yeah, give me Victoria Dudakova, but not confident whatsoever, and I probably will have half a unit bet on Jinh Frey in this matchup. But Victoria Dudakova, Hit the Twitter DM. And our next fight tonight is going to be Nathaniel Wood taking on Mohaamad Naimov. Gonna side with my boy Nathaniel Wood. I feel like he is the side. I do have a parlay with him, but it's with last week's Chris Gutierrez, so I need Nathaniel Wood to close that parlay out. But yeah, Nathaniel Wood, I feel like he's just a better mixed martial artist. He can implement the wrestling, he has the better cardio, and honestly, I feel like the striking's pretty close, and I feel like the leg kicks off Nathaniel Wood will play a factor in this matchup. Mohaamad Naimov is a very good striker. I'm pretty sure he's like a world champion in kickboxing or something like that. I don't know what organization it was exactly, but yeah, you know, he did look okay in his last fight against Jimmy Malarkey, up a weight class, got the TKO win, but I mean, Jimmy Malarkey's chin is shot at this point. I mean, anyone can wobble that guy. John McDessie was able to wobble him, and he hasn't found a KO finish since 2013, so I don't know. I feel like Nathaniel Wood is the way better mixed martial artist. He can implement the wrestling, he can strike with him, and he just has maybe the cardio advantage over the 3 rounds. I just feel like he's the more technical guy. He will be the smaller guy, but he's just that at this point at featherweight especially. So yeah, Nathaniel Wood is the side. I think he'll probably get a decision or maybe like a late round submission possibly. But yeah, Nathaniel Wood is definitely the side. Way more just well-rounded, and he's just been in there with better guys, let's be honest. I mean, who has Mohaamad Naimov really faced? Like, not very good guys whatsoever, and Nathaniel Wood's been in there with some absolute bad asses in the UFC. So yeah, give me Nathaniel Wood by 3rd round submission in this fight. And our next fight tonight is going to be Anshul Jubli taking on Mike Breeden. The UFC know what they're doing here. They know what they're doing. They want that Indian star. And I'm going to pick Anshul Jubli. I mean, how can you pick Mike Breeden? 0-3 in the UFC. Completely has looked just terrible, to be honest. He has not looked good since he's been in the UFC. And yeah, apart from the first round TKO, I don't see how Mike Breeden's going to be able to win this fight. And Anshul Jubli is pretty very defensively sound on the feet, and he will be able to get his wrestling off in this fight and grappling off. He has some competent striking as well at range, solid kicks, solid just variety in the feet, but I do see him in the 2nd, 3rd round, if it gets there, you know, getting this to the ground and definitely finding a finish. His ground and pound looked nasty in his last fight on that road to the UFC final, I'm pretty sure, against Yahya Sedriques. So that was a very good performance from Anshul Jubli. I actually bet on Sedriques in that fight. Pretty bad bet, to be honest, but yeah, I was very impressed with Anshul Jubli. I wouldn't say he's a really, you know, prospect or anything, but he's a solid fighter, solid in kind of every aspect of MMA, and I do see him getting this win over Mike Breeden. There's really not much to say. I mean, Mike Breeden's not very good, and Anshul Jubli just on tape is just the way better fighter in this fight. So yeah, give me Anshul Jubli by submission round 2. And our next fight tonight is going to be Sedriques Dumas taking on Abu Azaitar. I'm going to have to side with Sedriques Dumas. Have a bet on him. 1.7 units to win 1 at minus 170, obviously. I just have to pick him in this fight. I mean, how can I pick Abu Azaitar? He's fought twice. No, he's fought once in 5 years. Yeah, he's fought once in the last 5 years, fought twice in the last 6 years, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's actually fought 3 times in the last 7 years. How can I pick that fighter that's been this inactive? And just, there's no way he's training to the fullest if he's coming in here, you know, barely fighting. And Sedriques Dumas, I feel like the range he'll have in this fight is just a wide rangier striker. Abu Azaitar will come forward and he will present openings for Sedriques Dumas at range, and I do see Sedriques Dumas you know, landing a big shot on Abu Azaitar in this fight. I mean, both of these brothers, like the Azaitar brothers, just seem so inactive, and I don't know why. Maybe they're making money outside of the UFC, like kind of suspect money it seems, but yeah, I'm gonna have to side with Sedriques Dumas. And even if like Abu for some reason like wrestles, I don't know, Sedriques Dumas has some tricky submissions from his back, and yeah, I think that Sedriques Dumas has all the momentum in this fight for sure. And Abu Azaitar is coming off a TKO loss to Marc-Andre Barriault 2.5 years ago, so 37 years of age. Sedriques Dumas, 28, major, you know, youth advantage in this fight, so I have to go with Sedriques Dumas in this matchup. I don't think Sedriques Dumas is the best fighter, but come on, how can you pick up Azaitar in this fight? You really can't. But yeah, Sedriques Dumas going to be the longer ranger fighter, so yeah, give me Sedriques Dumas in this fight by first round TKO. I'll go. And our next fight tonight is going to be Javid Basharat taking on Victor Henry. Gonna side with Javid Basharat. I feel like Javid Basharat, again, I keep saying this, the more well-rounded mixed martial artist. We have many well-rounded mixed martial artists on this card. I feel like he can, in the pocket, he has very good boxing, good kicks from range, good body kicks from range, and he has really phenomenal grappling, phenomenal top control, and I do see that being a big factor in this fight. I wouldn't lay minus 425. I don't think he's a parlayable fighter this weekend. At plus 325, Victor Henry's definitely the side. He is also very well rounded, and if you look at that Hani Barcelos fight, and that was Hani Barcelos more towards his prime. I mean, it was kind of past Hani Barcelos' prime, but still, you know, a very, very competent Hani Barcelos. And, you know, he didn't get taken down. And Hani Barcelos is like a 5-time Brazilian wrestling champion or something like that. So, yeah, that is a worry for Javid Basharat in this fight. And I do feel like he will fight this fight very close. He does like to fight fights like closely. So I don't really want to lay minus 425. You know, Victor Henry didn't look very good against Tony Gravely in his last fight, but Javid Basharat's just a more well-rounded fighter and possibly better in every aspect of MMA, the grappling, the wrestling, and the striking possibly. So yeah, and he's the more clean. He's the cleaner fighter as well on the feet. Very defensively sound. He has a two times striking differential, I'm pretty sure. So very defensively sound fighter. And yeah, give me Javid Basharat by decision. Don't see a finish whatsoever in this matchup. And our next fight tonight is going to be Muhammad Yahya taking on my boy Trevor Peej. I have a bet on Trevor Peej, minus 110, 2.2 units. The reason why I'm playing Trevor Peej in this fight, you know, I was looking at the lines, right, last week, and I was saying, wait, this guy's like minus 140 at Muhammad Yahya, and he's 12-3, riding a big win streak right now against Trevor Peej. I might just bet this blindly. I might have to bet this blindly, but thank God I didn't. I watched the tape, and Muhammad Yahya is not good whatsoever, boys. Muhammad Yahya is not good. His wrestling, he doesn't have any wrestling, really. He gets taken down himself, controlled. He's very hittable. He's been wobbled on the regional scene, and in his last fight, if it wasn't for a 5-round fight against Tahiri, he probably would have lost that fight. He does have some solid cardio, but man, Trevor Peej is going to get in his face and land some big bombs on Muhammad Yahya in this fight. Trevor Peej has that relentless forward pressure early on. He'll swing for the fences, he'll swing for the bleachers, and I do see Trevor Peej landing on Muhammad Yahya, who, like I said, is a very hittable guy. He's just very hittable, to be honest, and Trevor Peej, I really want to fade this guy. I really want to just keep on fading Trevor Peej, but this isn't the fight, guys. This really isn't the fight. I feel like minus 110 is very generous by the books, and man, the people that got him at plus money, you did your job. You did your job at plus money. Fantastic job by you. So you got Trevor Peej at plus money. But yeah, gotta go with Trevor Peej by first round TKO. Muhammad Yahya, if he had wrestling, I probably would have looked to bet him, but he has no wrestling, so yeah, nah. And he's not very good at striking at all, to be honest. And I don't really see much finishing potential for him either. So yeah, Trevor Peej is the side, the more dangerous fighter, the more chance taking fighter in this fight, and the more dangerous fighter in this fight. So yeah, give me Trevor Peej for sure in this matchup. And our next fight tonight is going to be Tim Elliott taking on Mohaamad Mokaev. Gonna side with Mohaamad Mokaev. When I first saw this fight get announced, I was like, Tim Elliott might be a good dog in this fight. But I was like, did my research. I was like, nah. Nah, Mohaamad Mokaev is the side. I feel like his wrestling, his cage wrestling, and his relentlessness to get the takedowns will eventually get to Tim Elliott and eventually control him. Yes, Tim Elliott is very scrambly and will be very, very, very scrambly for the first round. So I actually don't mind. What is his, is it plus 3.5? Is that what you call it? The, whatever like prop it is, I've never played them, but whatever prop it is for Tim Elliott to win one round on all judges' scorecards, I don't actually feel like that's a bad prop to play in this fight. I've never played them before. My books don't really have them in the UK, so I don't really play them. So yeah. Anyway, Mohaamad Mokaev is going to be the side though for me personally. I don't really like minus 450 price tag against a guy who is having a very good rebound in his career, 4-1 in his last 5. Tim Elliott, and a solid on the feet. Mohaamad Mokaev is going to be the more dangerous guy on the feet for sure. He'll have the more power, the more maybe actually not the more creativity, the more impactful strikes for sure in this fight. Tim Elliott is very creative on the feet, but Mohaamad Mokaev will have the more threatening, the more dangerous power on the feet. But like I said, I feel like he will just win this fight as it goes on and win it with his cage wrestling against the fence and just keep shooting. And he does have very solid cardio to do that. Tim Elliott also has very solid cardio, but I wouldn't say it's the best cardio. I would definitely give the cardio advantage to Mohaamad Mokaev, but yeah, give me Mohaamad Mokaev by decision. Not really a fight I'm looking to bet, apart from that plus 3.5. Is that what you call it? I'm pretty sure it is. Let me know down in the comments what it is, guys. If I'm wrong, if I'm right, if it's a minus 3.5, I can't remember, but yeah. Mohaamad Mokaev by decision. And our next fight tonight is going to be Saeed Nurmagomedov taking on Muin Gafurov. Gonna side with Saeed Nurmagomedov in this matchup. I feel like he's just better in every single aspect of MMA. I'm seeing guys on Muin Gafurov. He's actually quite a popular dog this week, but you know, at range, it's not close whatsoever. Saeed Nurmagomedov is going to be on another level at range, and people are saying, oh, Muin's going to put on the pressure. I mean, yeah, what pressure? Dude, he's 1-5 in decisions. Do you really think he's going to win a decision in this fight? I don't see it whatsoever. I don't see him winning a decision in this fight, and I feel like the more dangerous fighter in this fight is going to be Saeed Nurmagomedov. I feel like he can win by TKO, he can win by decision, and he can win by submission. I don't mind people playing that submission prop whatsoever. And yeah, I'm going to have to side with Saeed Nurmagomedov. At kickboxing range, it's not even close in this fight whatsoever. And Muin will try and get close. He does have solid striking, and he is a pretty high level Sambo guy, I'm pretty sure, from what I've heard. So yeah, Saeed Nurmagomedov is going to be the pick in this fight. So I don't really see the way that Muin is going to be able to just, you know, implement a striking game plan, especially, and if he gets close, I don't really see that working out for him. I feel like Saeed Nurmagomedov's get-up game's pretty good, and takedown defense from body locks are good, and Saeed Nurmagomedov, in my opinion, he beat Jonathan Martinez in his last fight. I really do believe that. I did have a bet on Saeed Nurmagomedov, and also, guys, I have a bet on Saeed Nurmagomedov, minus 188, 2.5 units I have on that. I'm pretty confident that Saeed Nurmagomedov gets this done, but yeah, I thought he beat Jonathan Martinez 2-1, so I don't know. I feel like Saeed Nurmagomedov is one of the better guys outside those rankings. Is he ranked? I'm not sure, but he is definitely in that top 15 range for sure. But yeah, give me Saeed Nurmagomedov by submission round 2. And our next fight is going to be Ikram Aliskerov taking on Warlley Alves. Gonna side with Ikram Aliskerov, but guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not high on this guy whatsoever. I think he's a hype job. I really think he's a hype job. I'm not going to lie. I'm not really impressed with his striking. He's obviously a very good Sambo, high Sambo level credentials. Sambo world champion, stuffed a takedown. That's all people gas about this guy. Stuffing a takedown is his biggest success to Khamzat Chimaev. That's all people talk about, apparently. But yeah, Warlley Alves is not the guy to beat him, unfortunately. Warlley Alves coming up a weight class on short notice, and he's a no-one gasser. Not going to happen against Ikram Aliskerov. I just don't see an upset happening whatsoever. Welterweight is way better than middleweight, so you never know. You never know, but Ikram Aliskerov should win this. I mean, he will be able to get those takedowns from those body locks, and I do see him eventually stopping Warlley Alves later on in the fight. Warlley Alves is very good at BJJ wise, but his cardio was terrible. His cardio is pretty bad, and that Nicholas Dalby last fight wasn't a good outing, and I bet on Warlley Alves. I'm pretty sure it was actually a split decision, was it? It was a split decision, yeah. I thought I actually won that bet, but yeah, I feel like Ikram Aliskerov, this is his fight to lose. It really is. I mean, there's no way he should lose this fight, man. And he is just a way better, more well-rounded as well, to be honest. Warlley Alves, I think that he's past his prime as well. How old is he? 30? He's only 32? It feels like this guy never fights. That's why. Yeah, 2.5 years ago was his second to last fight. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to side with Ikram Aliskerov. This guy's taking on short notice. He's a known gasser, but the next fight we are fading Ikram Aliskerov. Imavov was gonna be a max bet, but unfortunately he pulled out, so it's all good. Ikram Aliskerov by submission, round 2. And our next fight we have Magomed Ankalaev taking on Johnny Walker. Gonna side with Magomed Ankalaev. I'm pretty confident. I'm very confident that this guy's a lock of the card, to be honest. I think he's safe to parlay. I think that he's safe to play inside the distance. Yes, he does go to decision, and he does fight very safe. And man, I'm telling you, he's going to come out here and starch Johnny Walker in this fight. I feel like the technique is on another level for Ankalaev compared to Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker has been improving under Coach John Cabinet, but, you know, Magomed Ankalaev is just a different animal with the boxing. I don't really see Johnny Walker's wildness being too much of a problem for Magomed Ankalaev. Yes, Magomed Ankalaev got hurt by Thiago Santos, but I don't really see that happening in this fight. I feel like that was just a one-off, and he's very defensively sound. All of these Dagestanis are very defensively sound fighters. They're just very, you know, just safe fighters on the feet, and I do see Magomed Ankalaev eventually landing that shot with his hands and putting Johnny Walker out cold. We forgot this guy's chin is one of the worst we've ever seen Johnny Walker in the UFC. So yeah, give me Magomed Ankalaev by second round TKO. After, you know, maybe Johnny Walker has some early success, but I just don't think he'll be able to win by TKO. And I definitely don't think he's going to win by decision. So look out for my Twitter to see what inside the distance prop is for Magomed Ankalaev in this fight. Looking forward to this fight. Gonna be a good one. But yeah, I am looking to play Magomed Ankalaev for at least a unit stab on his inside the distance prop. On our next fight of the night, we have Kamaru Usman taking on Khamzat Chimaev. Gonna side with Khamzat Chimaev, but I will be doing a more detailed breakdown on this fight later on in the week, like Tuesday, tomorrow, or Wednesday. But yeah, gonna side with Khamzat Chimaev because I feel like Kamaru Usman's pretty shit on his back foot. He has to be going forward, and we saw that in the Colby Covington fight. When Kamaru Usman was on his back foot, he was getting hurt by Colby Covington, and when, you know, Colby Covington was marching him down, he was having a lot of success in that fight. And Khamzat Chimaev is a natural middleweight now. He's been bulking for the past year, and Kamaru Usman's taking this on short notice, but I would just say Kamaru Usman on short notice is better than Volkanovski on short notice, especially in this type of matchup. You know, Khamzat Chimaev's fighting style is very basic. We know what he's going to do. He's going to march you forward and try and land some big bombs and try and get that body lock and take you down from there. Pretty basic. Obviously, it's not as simple as that, you know, that high-level MMA, you know, they're doing a lot of different things to set these things up, but you know what he's going to do, really. And yeah, you know, Kamaru Usman is going to have a nasty jab in this fight, and if he starts getting that jab off early, if he starts popping Khamzat Chimaev's head back early on, and he's not on his back foot immediately into the fight, look to live bet, look to hammer Kamaru Usman live, look to hammer him live if you can, because if Khamzat Chimaev isn't, you know, putting on the pressure, it's going to be a long night for Kamaru Usman in this matchup. Yes, Kamaru Usman he is on the decline for sure. That second fight against Leon Edwards, we definitely saw a decline. I thought that's how the first you know, fight was going to play out with Leon Edwards. I picked Leon Edwards in the first fight and then picked Usman the week. I was picking Leon Edwards like throughout the whole build-up for their trilogy fight, and I was like, nah, I gotta go with Kamaru Usman to be safe, just because if Leon Edwards loses, I'll look like a clown. But Yeah, I actually bet Leon Edwards anyway in the end anyway, so we made money there. But yeah, Kamaru Usman, if he starts getting that jab off early, it's gonna be a long night for Khamzat Chimaev. And guys, I don't know if Khamzat Chimaev's body lock takedowns are going to work against Kamaru Usman in this matchup. I really don't know if he'll be able to just pick him up and just manhandle him like he's nothing. I'm spitting everywhere right now. I'm so dehydrated. It's incredible. But yeah, I don't know if Khamzat Chimaev is just going to be able to get that body lock takedown, get those hands clasped, and just wrestle him to death. I don't know if that's going to happen. I would have picked Kamaru Usman 2 years ago for sure, but I don't know. Gonna side with Khamzat Chimaev. He is going to be the more powerful striker. He's going to march forward and put Kamaru Usman on the back foot, and we've seen how Kamaru Usman is on the back foot. Not the best on his back foot, and Khamzat Chimaev is going to be way bigger as well, more prepared also. But Kamaru Usman, I don't see him like death gassing also. If it extends, I do favour Kamaru Usman either way, short notice or full camp. He will have very solid cardio no matter what, if it's on short notice or full camp. But yeah, give me Khamzat Chimaev by first round TKO. I also forgot to mention I took a unit stab on Kamaru Usman at plus 240 earlier on in the week. It went up to as high as plus 310. Come on, what are we doing, guys? But yeah, took a stab on Kamaru Usman just for the value side at plus 240. And on to the main event of the evening. We made it. Islam Makhachev taking on Alexander Volkanovski. Gonna side with Khamzat Chimaev. Islam Makhachev in this fight. I feel like I've got a max belt on him, guys. I got a max belt on him. 4.5 units to win 2 units. Minus 225. Put that in 5 days ago. I'm pretty confident, guys. I'm pretty confident. And I was a guy that was basically like, I was standing up screaming, come on, Volk! Come on, Volk! In their first fight. I don't like Islam Makhachev's fans whatsoever. I think they're horrible human beings. But yeah, gonna side with Islam Makhachev. I feel like he has all the... Yes, this is such a narrative-based fight. Even if you're not looking from a narrative-based fight, I feel like Islam Makhachev just has all the tools to beat Alexander Volkanovski. Let's look at the narratives. Let's break this down from a narrative perspective. Alexander Volkanovski was injured. He said he was injured, fighting injured against Yahya Rodriguez. He's coming back. He said he would be out until the end of the year at least. He's coming back before the end of the year, so he's definitely still compromised with that elbow injury he's had. He's taking on short notice, and he will not be as bulked up as he was in their first fight. And Islam Makhachev has a massive advantage being in Abu Dhabi. Alexander Volkanovski had the advantage by having the 24-hour rehydrate thing in Australia, because it was like 24 hours they only got to rehydrate, and now they're getting 36 hours. Islam Makhachev is going to be fully replenished, fully rehydrated, and he's going to be ready to go on Saturday night. And I do see that being a massive factor in this matchup, boys. He's going to be at least 5 to 10 pounds bigger than Alexander Volkanovski minimum. I mean, it could be about 10 pounds, to be honest, considering Alexander Volkanovski's not been bulking for this fight. But yeah, what was the other narrative? I'm trying to think. But yeah, let's just get into the matchup. I forgot what it was. No, I forgot, but it's all good. Islam Makhachev. Oh yeah, also the way I said, Kamaru Usman isn't having to deal with such a complicated style. Islam Makhachev is such a hard style to game plan because he's so good at circling, so good on his back foot, so good at countering, and so good at just just such a hard fighter to prepare for. There's so many tools you have to game plan for. How are you going to deal with his counters when pressuring him, trying to close the space? How are you going to deal with his clinches, his body lock takedowns? How are you going to deal with his single leg takedowns? How are you going to deal with his open mat wrestling? How are you going to deal with his kicks at range, his high kicks on his back foot, the body kicks that he throws, the leg kicks that he throws? How are you going to deal with all of that? And I don't see that. I see that being a massive disadvantage for Alexander Volkanovski, because like I said, Kamaru Usman isn't having to deal with such a complicated style compared to Alexander Volkanovski. Alexander Volkanovski has such a hard puzzle to figure out on 9 days notice. Yes, he's prepared for him before, but this is going to be a different animal. This is going to be a different beast, Islam Makhachev, and this is going to be a worse Alexander Volkanovski. So I had to put the max bet in. I wouldn't mind. I would actually like to see Alexander Volkanovski and Usman win. because it would just be insane. But I don't see that happening whatsoever. So I'm trying to win money, and I'm trying to use this, even though I don't like his fans whatsoever. You know, Islam Makhachev is actually a sound guy, but his fans are horrible. Yeah, but yeah, give me Islam Makhachev by 3rd round TKO. I think that Alexander Volkanovski is going to be too underprepared for this matchup, and I do feel like he will be exposed on the feet. Not exposed, like he's been raw, like, you know, showing off to be a bad striker. Obviously not, but I'm just saying he'll be exposed on the feet in this matchup, I mean. So yeah, give me Islam Makhachev by 3rd round TKO. But there you guys have it. There's my full card breakdown for UFC 294. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I put a lot of time and effort into these videos for you guys, so if you can please show me some love, that would be much appreciated, guys. But yeah, guys, I will see you in the next one. I don't know when that will be, but yeah, have a good rest of your week. Let's make some cash this weekend, boys. Let's go, boys. Woo!